I was quite lucky on Geordie Shore. The girls got the brunt of it. And you'd be like, no way. Like, there's one brand that I could have had about 25% in. And I said no. I still, to this day, don't think I realised the power we had back then. I guess we've got to go at the start, haven't we?
Absolutely.
We'll have to go all the way back to the start.
Yeah.
That night he was like, we're going out. I said, I'm not going out. We've got a bottle of Red Boost. I still remember it. And he was like, just drink this. We'll get a lift and we'll go to town. And this woman's like, excuse me. She's like, yeah, can I talk to you? I'm like, what do you want, man? It's like, I work for MTV. Can you just would you like to come in for an interview? I was like, for what? It was just like a uni house. It was just, that first season for me, I always say was the best one because no one knew what we were doing. Like, can you do another 20 hours? Like, yeah. Where am I going? Well, you go to Magaluf tomorrow, then Napa 2 days, then you go to freaking Cyprus, then you go to Bulgaria, then you're in Scotland, then Dublin. I'm like, yeah, so. You know, and Gaz, me and Charlie are doing the vodka. Do you want to get involved? He goes, I'm going to put in money in, you just have like 20%. I'll have thingy and Charlie will have 50. Another vodka. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. Fuck AU Vodka. Oh. The whole family went through a bit of a weird, bad time around this time. So I'm on the dole. My sister and her boyfriend split up. My mum and my stepdad split up after like 20 years. My mum lost her house. Wouldn't let it go on TV now, like 1,000,000%. I feel very lucky to go on and experience them first few seasons where there was no social media.
Yeah.
Because then that could have ruined Geordie Shore.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for the support so far on this project. It means the absolute world to us.
However, we've noticed that around 75% of you who listen and watch the show haven't yet hit the subscribe or like button.
So in order for this community to grow and allow us to build this project, we have a small request from you.
Please hit the subscribe or like button on the app that you're listening or watching this show. Your commitment... What were you laughing at? I did a really good job, didn't I? Right, do another one. Please hit the subscribe or like button on the app you're watching or listening this show. Listening this show.
Remember to smile.
I'm always smiling.
You weren't.
Was I not? Stop it. Kelly's fucking waiting for us outside, bro.
Compose. Right, let's do it.
Please hit the subscribe or like button on the app you're listening to or watching this fucking show. Right, come on, just one more. Please hit the subscribe or like button. Your commitment is our commitment.
Let's do this.
Fuck off. Come on, more.
Yeah, I'm not going to cheeseball it up, but I'll go, let's do this.
That'll do. We're rolling already. I love it. Just roll straight in.
We're in.
Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down.
That's right.
We've only connected, I was trying to think when it was. It was probably like a few months ago. Went for a coffee.
No, I'd say it was...
Was it longer?
3
months ago.
Yeah. Just because I know, because I keep trying.
Yeah. So,
it's Friday at the end of the month.
So we connected about 3 months ago, and one of the reasons I wanted to get you down to talk on the podcast was down to actually perception. So let me explain that. Obviously, a lad from Newcastle.
Yeah.
Geordie Shore is one of those things that kind of, you never know if one of these shows is going to take off, but Geordie Shore was one of those that just really hit the ground running. And I know the guys from Geordie Shore, right? And then I go and have a coffee with this lad off Geordie Shore. And already when you go to meet someone who you've kind of got an idea only from telly, you have a perception about who that person is and who they are and their energy and their body language and everything. You have an idea. And I was completely wrong. And I really liked that because I was like, it wasn't good or bad. It was just different.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. And I think as humans, we create these, people say, don't judge a book by a cover, or you create some sort of persona. But yeah, I was really intrigued by who you are. And also like, the route you've gone down after the reality TV with your business investments and your, all that sort of stuff. And I just wanted to learn more, and that's why I wanted to get you down and have a chat about that.
I guess we've got to go at the start, haven't we?
Absolutely.
We have to go all the way back to the start.
Yeah.
It's do you know, it's mad because you feel like time just move on, but it does. And when I think back to what I was doing back then, obviously I left school. A lot of people don't know this about me. I left school when I was 16, went to the Royal Marines. Did a little bit of time there. I left. I loved the fitness. I've always loved fitness and being in shape. I just couldn't get used to the life of it. So I left there, came back, and I was just dotting from job to job. I did I worked in some call centres, worked at Northern Rock. Rock?
Yeah.
Actually comes in pretty handy because I worked in savings.
Oh, did you?
So I got trained on savings. So like I was sitting there, people were ringing up and going, "Oh, I just inherited like £1 million. What do I do with it?" And I'm like, "I'm 17, mate. Like, why are you asking me?" However, we've got this ISA. You put it in there. You put it in that savings account. You get your interest every month. But it's mad to think back to that.
Yeah.
Worked in there for a year, and then I eventually got apprenticeship. So I did a 4-year apprenticeship. Shout out to Ashton College, all the boys there. Went the roughest college in the world. I turned up in like joggers, little pink top, hair all done and that, and everyone had a like, mirror peak on. The biggest chavas you've ever seen in your entire life. But yeah, honestly, I loved it. I did 4 years tiling. So I tiled like the company I work for did big tiling, so like things at the Metro Centre.
Yeah.
I was on there for like 3 years, night shift.
Oh, really?
Just tiling the whole, like digging all them brown tiles up and then putting the new ones down.
And how old were you then?
So I would have been about 18 then.
Right.
No, 17. Left Northern Rock. Was in the Marines. Yeah, came back. Yeah, 17. So I did a bit of Northern Rock, got an apprenticeship, did that till I was about 20. So a fully qualified tiler. Don't ask us to tile your bathroom or kitchen. That is
gone.
Well gone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even know where to start. And then, yeah, I kind of did what everyone else does, got an apprenticeship. I thought that was going to be me kind of forever, just tiling, you know what I mean? And then I got fully qualified, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go abroad for the summer, just do a little bar job before I get into this building site for the rest of my life. Because all the old lads were like, "Oh, you've been doing this for years, my back's killing," and all that. And I was like, yeah, but I'm going to go to like, so I ended up going to Malia in 2009. Do you know how long ago that sounds?
2009.
09.
Yeah, so 15 years ago, bro.
Yeah. 2009. I went to Malia with 100 quid in my pocket. I booked £101, 18 to 30 holiday.
Oh, I remember 18 to 30. You used to go in the travel agency, you sit down, honestly, and like, walk you through it.
I booked this 7-day holiday, and it was 100 quid. And I thought, you know what, 100 quid. What am I going to do, mate? We got there, it was peak July, it was boiling. We had this little crappy room. We were living on, I swear, like we were having like 3 pot noodles a day. It was that hot.
I knew it was going to be noodles.
Super noodles or pot noodles. And then I was just going around every bar asking for a job. It was that hot. We actually twigged it. We just got our black mattresses on the floor and put our pillow in the fridge. That you get aircon.
I never thought of that. I did 3 seasons in a beef. I never thought of that. That is gold.
Yeah, so we used to freeze water and then hug the water, or just hug the water and just put your head and your pillow in the fridge.
Wow,
that was our aircon. So, mate, like I say, I lived in people's bedrooms and that. And I was just dotting around in there. So, like, but I eventually got a job and I did a whole season out there. Came back. I was on the dole. Didn't have a penny to my name. I was 21, couldn't get a job back at my Thailand place. So I was like, what do I do now? And like family wise, we weirdly, my whole family went through a bit of a weird, bad time around this time. So I'm on the dole. My sister and her boyfriend split up. My mum and my stepdad split up after like 20 years. My mum lost her house. So I was like,
oh wow, all in one go.
That's October. We all had to move in to my granddad's house.
Wow.
Right? My mum's like, I had a house for you, like ready for you, all that. Yeah. Not going to go into why it got lost, but look, it's gone. She was like, I'm now 40 odd years old and I'm moving back in with my dad with my kids. So my mum was she was gutted, you know what I mean? I was like, Mum, don't worry, you've done loads for us. I'm like now 20 or whatever. My sister's 2-3 years older than me. She just split up with her boyfriend. So we were all living at my granddad's, and that was literally that September. And then my sister went to town and she didn't really go to Newcastle a lot. She went to town, she met a new boyfriend who she's now married with and got 2 kids. So she kind of started dating him over the Christmas period. My mum in February then met who she's now married to. So like another man. And then I was just at my granddad's. So everyone kind of was moving out and I was just left there. And then literally that April, I would go, I wasn't a dole, do you know what I mean? I didn't have a lot of money, but one of the lads from Malia had moved to Newcastle to like be with me because we're like really good pals. So one night he was like, we're going out. I was like, I'm not going out, mate. I've got no money. Like I'm on the dole, getting dole money on Friday. He was like, nah, we're going out. And this is back when social media doesn't exist. And this is why MTV, I didn't realise, that night and that week had scouts out. So it wasn't about like now where Love Island they go, oh, she looks fit, he looks fit. Who's got 40,000 followers? He might be all right for Love Island. He might have a little FaceTime. No, this was like old school. MTV from London sent about 20 odd scouts out, just go and look around. So they were just in bars like Tup and Floritas and that, just going, oh, so who's the who's the lads, who's the girls.
No way. I didn't know any of this.
That's how they found the people. And so obviously it makes sense because Vicky was the girl who did all the VIP stuff. She was the one that let you in VIP, give you your wristbands. Like, and she did the VIP at Tiger on a Monday, Tup on a Friday, Sunday. Like, so she was like Miss VIP, we just call her. James did topless hosting, so it made sense that he would have caught their eye. Jay, I didn't really know. Again, Charlotte, Holly were from like obviously Middlesbrough, a bit more Sunderland way. Sophie as well, but like for the ones I knew, it made sense. And then that night he was like, "We're going out." I was like, "I'm not going out. We've got a bottle of Red Boost." I still remember it, like £7 or whatever for that, and a bottle of Glen's vodka. And he was like, "Just drink this. We'll get a lift, and we'll go to town so we can get in Tup or whatever for free." So we literally drank it, got smashed, went into town, and I was just talking to some girls in VIP and Tup out the back.
Yeah.
And this woman's like, excuse me. She's like, "Can I talk to you?" I'm like, what do you want, man? Fuck off. Like, just what? She's like, excuse me. I'm like, I swear to God, like, I'm just talking to this bird. What do you want? And it was, she's like, I work for MTV. I was like, but MTV back then, it's hard to like understand, like, MTV was a music channel.
Yeah.
That artists put music videos on. There was no shows on MTV UK. There wasn't even there was like the news.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do you want from MTV? She was like, we're doing this new show just in Tup. It's loud. I'm like, fuck it. What?
And it's busy, you can't move.
I'm smashed, probably off me nut. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm sitting there going like, Jesus. And then eventually she went, take his number. So I woke up the next day at my granddad's, and then I'm walking the dog and the phone's rang. Hi, it's Lauren from MTV. We spoke last night. I was thinking, I've got no idea how this is. I'm thinking, yeah. She went, would you like to come in for an interview? I was like, for what? And she said, it's for MTV, this new TV show anyway. So I was at the Dole getting my money that day. And I remember going back to Hexham, right, to the job centre. And I was in the job centre and they were literally like, have you found any jobs? I was like, actually, I've got an interview with MTV tomorrow. They were like, all right, MTV. Right, and I was thinking, fuck, idiot. Like, you haven't got an interview with MTV. I was like, no, I have. I swear down, because you've got to write your job before you get your money. I said, no, I have. And it was the maddest interview ever. I was in a Newcastle, in a hotel. And yeah, the questions were just weird, though. It wasn't like, you got a job interview, you're thinking MTV's going to be, what's this going to be about? It was a man and a woman, an average person you see walking around London, like a proper little coat, shirts, all nicely dressed. First question was like, right, so straight into it. How many people you slept with, guys? I was like, whoa. And I was like, is this? I was like, well, I've just been to Malia and been with this many, and I've kind of been this many. Oh, great. So what's the maddest thing happening in Malia? Any threesomes? Do you think, what would be the most standout moment sexually wise in Malia? And I was just like, like, is your name, is this like a Suzanne and a Glenn or someone? I'm like, what? So I'm just like talking about, we're at Newcastle, we're in the lads, we go out 4 nights a week and we pretty much do this every night, and we go to the gym, we're fucking on it. Like, there's a group of us in Newcastle at the minute, we're just like, we've banged everyone. Like, I was like 21-year-old, arrogant as that, just going, yeah, you put me in any room, mate, I'm back. Like, and I look back, it's cringes out, but I was, at that time, we did just smash the gym, we got a new top, and we went out. We did it every week. And yeah, and then I was, all right, great interview. I walked out thinking, it was weird. Then I went there, said, I'll do another interview. Then it was like this, was cameras and that. And I was thinking, what am I doing? Like, you haven't told me what the job is.
They didn't even tell you what it was
like,
for.
It's for a show. And I was like, what? And then that day, on DVD, and I've still got it at my granddad's house in my drawer.
DVD.
They give us a DVD of Jersey Shore.
Right.
This is the reason. This is the reason Geordie Shore started. Obviously, Jersey Shore was an American version. Blew up. So yeah, we just came over and did. They wanted to do a UK version. It was going to be in Liverpool. It was going to be Mersey Shore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then it was obviously Newcastle, got the scouts. We end up there, and then they give us a DVD. So I went home, put it in the DVD player, watched it, and it was just situation and all them just getting smashed. And I was like, I can do that. It's not a problem. So I went back and went, yep, I can definitely do that. Not a problem. Had another interview. And they were like, yeah, you've got the job. I was like, but like, what is it? And I signed a little contract and that. And honestly, I went home with no idea what had just happened. I was like, Mum was like, have you got a job then? I was like, yeah, I think so. I think I start next week. She was like,
she went, what's the interview like?
Yeah. And Mum was like, I didn't tell her. So I was like, I've just got to go and live in a house with 4 girls, 4 boys. They're going to pay for all my drink and all my food. And we just got to Newcastle every night. And she was like, what? I was like, I swear that's the job. I went with my mum, I told you all that frigging clubbing would pay off. Because she was always like, you're out too much, you're out too much. I went, well, technically I'm out too, because a few people had mentioned my name and the scouts were going out. You know, Michael Charlton.
Yes.
Michael Charlton being like, he was like, what are you doing? They were like, we need to find, he was like, just go in there and find Gary Beadle and just speak to him. So Charlton actually put my name forward. He probably was one of the ones that, because obviously we're all mates and that, but yeah. And then I went on there. That was the start of the first one.
And what year was that? Was the first season?
2011.
2011. I remember seeing the first season and I was like, I want to be on there, but I'm not very good with girls and I'm not shagging on telly, but I want to be on there. It's like, I don't know what it was. It was like, you wanted to be seen. Like you say, social media wasn't a thing. So now people have got their phones, you can do selfie videos and all that stuff. You can put yourself out there. But at the time, that was unheard of, and especially in Newcastle and the UK. Jersey Shore was really big at the time, wasn't it? Like,
it was kind of I think it was the shock value. You got to think the only reality show at the time, the biggest one, was probably Big Brother.
Yeah, and it was like that.
So Big Brother, if someone kissed or they went under a table, it was like, oh my God, they're under the table. They kissed, hot front page, the news. They're kissing in their pool. That was mad. Like, to someone, that was mad. So like, when I went on, I didn't know how a TV show got put together. I generally was just in there, right? I remember ringing my mum halfway through. I was like, I need some more money. I've got no money for clothes. Like, I'd run out of tops, and I was like, going to H&M buying like 4 or 5 because I had no phones or nothing. We didn't have a clue what we were doing. That's why I think it worked so well that first season, because it was so relatable. I was doing nothing. I wasn't I'm going to Love Island next week. Walking in and being like, be careful what I'm saying. I don't want to argue with her because it might come across this way. I'm just going to chill out. I'm not getting involved in that argument because he's quite popular. You also know how everyone's at home on Twitter, on Instagram, doing memes and this and that, and you want to try and be funny, but you don't want to be hated. We did not care. Like, you got Jay hanging out windows going, Middlesbrough, you might as well be from fucking Mars. And like, do you know what I mean? Just griefing all the Middlesbrough lot, and then Max sort of comes on, like, you're a fucking Mac, come on. Like, it was just like, and everything that was happening, like every kind of raw emotion or whatever, was just so relatable. Like, we were going out as lads, the girls were going out as girls, then we were like, obviously we were pulling, then they were getting pissed off, then we were getting each other, and then it was just like a uni house. It was just, the best way to describe it was, that first season for me, I always say was the best one, because no one knew what we were doing.
So you were blind.
We were blind. And even though you said you didn't, you had to think about things further down the line, because season 6, for example, and someone you know you hated, you're going to obviously go on there and try and be liked. But that first one, that's why Geordie Shore worked so well. As much as people got shocked by it, because there'd never been sex on TV, they'd never been getting smashed on TV. We could just, on a Wednesday, just go and like, there's a bottle of Jaeger in the fridge, we were just necking, fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon, just getting smashed in that. I was just like, this is mad. There's only a small crew, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like, there wasn't loads of it. And yeah, that first season, we didn't even get paid for the first one.
What?
I actually left, we filmed it, right? We filmed the first season, because when we were going out to nightclubs, no one knew who we were. So we were getting a camera.
Of course, because at that point, no one, it wasn't aired.
So I was in the middle of like, Tiger, the little man with the camera. I'm like, oh, the birds over there. And it was just, no one was asked. People budging past me and that, like, move it away, that cameraman. And it had a little few security guards and that. And it was like, it was mad. But then coming to what you were saying before about getting propelled into it, that was kind of like, I left there, right? And this is how much we didn't all have a clue what we'd just done. Charlotte went back to a bar job.
Straight after?
I've left there 4 days later, gone back to Hexham and signed back on the dole, because we're like, it was like, we're just testing it. So I've signed back on the dole thinking, you know what? You might go on TV and I might get a little bit of modelling work or something. Someone might, you never know, it's a bit of TV. Because I was mates with Anthony Hutton at the time, who won Big Brother. And he was like, mate, just do it. You never know what'll come from it. So I was like, yeah. And then literally, it went on TV. It was like, it airs Tuesday night. And I was like, we had to go to London. We're doing like interviews. We're doing frigging things with MTV News. We're going to like doing This Morning and all that. I was like, that was a bit of a taster, if you wanted. I was like, this is a bit mad, isn't it? We're doing all like, how big's the show going to be? And they put like, I think MTV that first season, say they get a marketing budget of like 100 million or whatever, or 10 million. They put in 80% of their marketing budget was all put behind Geordie Shore.
Really?
Yeah, they were
all in.
They were like, this is gonna be, and we were like, yeah, whatever. And then we had like a screening party at the gate, and we're watching it, and then we didn't know how, because you don't know how TV works, right? So my mom's telling the neighbours and that, like, oh, Gary's on TV tomorrow night. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then it came on, I was just like, and it was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking Shaggy. And I was like, oh my God. I bet you the cast were more shocked than anyone else. We were like, oh my God. Then it was like, so I've got this girl, I'm going to go to bed. And I was like, no, they can't show that. And it was like me going upstairs, and then the quilt's going, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, my mum, my teachers, everyone is, the whole fucking, it's all on my face, but everyone's watching this. It was like, and then someone else would be shagging, and I was like, oh, and everyone was laughing and loving it, but I was like, oh my God, that was nothing what I expected. It was amazing, all the drone shots and the Angel of the North, and that was the first time we'd seen it. So it was amazing, but I think we got hammered that first kind of few weeks. It was in the front page of every paper. It was this disgrace, this should get put. If it got put on TV now, it wouldn't even survive.
No.
First season. Wouldn't last. But honestly, it was everywhere. It got, and then literally, they used that as good press and went, right, we're doing another one. And then we got paid for the second one. I was like, where is it? They went, Magaluf. I was like, oh, here. I use mental. You're going to take what order? Yeah, you get a villa. And you do 2 weeks in Magaluf, like a summer special. They couldn't get work.
I remember.
They couldn't get work to do it fast enough. They were like, right. And that's when it kicked in, because we went filming there, BCM Square. We had a close security protection person each.
On your shoulder all times.
10 like literally we're filming like that, and there was just my guy, the thing, and as soon as like,
everyone knew you at that point, so everyone's trying to get you.
We walked in that BCM Square. I don't think the producers knew. Because obviously, like, I knew this because I've been like, after that first episode, I got in the Metro Centre, and someone was like, oh my God, you're on that programme last night, you're Gaz. I was like, yeah, can I get, and I was like, whoa, and it was like about 30 people in the Metro. I was like, get me back in the car.
Let's talk about this a little bit before we go to that second season. So, you've done that first season, you didn't get paid, which I think's mad, but also...
It's a pilot in it.
You pilot, and you didn't know if it was going to hit or not. There's loads of pilots all the time, and they flop. So no one knew, but obviously it caught on. You were talking about being in the papers, and then, the negative stuff that the media talk about. How was that for you? Because you've been thrown into the limelight from working or being on the dole to that. How was that?
Do you know what? It wasn't like, I always say I was quite lucky on Geordie Shore. I feel like, because I was like, lads can always get away with it. If a lad sleeps with 5 girls, they're a legend. If a girl sleeps with 5 lads, they're a slag. Do you know what I mean? So the girls I would say that the girls got the brunt of it. A lot of it. It was always like the girls on the front page with half the tits out of the hot tub being like, disgrace. There wasn't a lad in the bedroom, which it should have been, being like, disgrace. It was always, I feel it was always aimed at the girls. So like, I think I was always, as far as I always said, I never watched it because I was there, I knew it, and I'd see clips of it, and I said, I'd only ever watch it if someone walked up to me in the street and was like, you're a prick.
Right, okay.
You're a fucking idiot. And I'd be like, whoa, how have they edited me here? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I knew I'd done something wrong, but I never really, it was always like, oh my God, you're on that, it's amazing, you fucking legend, or I seen you bagging them birds last night. And I'm like, yeah.
I see where you're going with
girls fancied you. Girls like fancy because you're a bit of a bad boy, and then the lads just wanting to be you and were envious because you just banging all birds. So like, I never really got it. And I always, going on to that, I don't know how other people would feel. Like for me, I felt like it was just good. You know what I mean? I was like, fucking hell, that's amazing.
So the fame didn't bother you then, and it didn't kind of affect you in a negative way?
It happened slowly, and it didn't, obviously negative, like you couldn't really do much, but then I was like, this is my job. I'm not going to complain, am I? Do you know what I mean? I'm getting smashed travelling the world, and I've got to take a few selfies with people, like, sound. But no one really gives any shit, or you may get a little bit on Twitter, like, you're a mug or this or that. I wouldn't fucking dare go on Geordie Shore. I'm like, mate, yes, you would.
Yeah.
Well, there's a contract. Go and get smashed for the next 5 years. Yes, you would. Yeah. So I always knew people were just a little bit, a few jealous people, or people who would just sound. But I always tell a story about I was on a train on the way back from Wembley, and about 20 Scousers got on quite late at night after thinking, and they were like, I always got a bit nervous. I would like look away at the window or something like that, and they were like, oh, and one of them just stopped and was like, fucking hell, he's like, fucking guys, like, and they all came up, fucking hell, guys, and he went, tell you what though, if you've been that fucking Ricky, tell you fucking what, just pulled his top up and he had a fucking, obviously Scouser had a knife there, but you've been that fucking Ricky though, he's a bit of a prick, him, and he guys there, and I was like, no, you sound, they were like, and I was like, they were like, have a good night, kid, they were off. On the train, I was thinking, what if I was him? Like, what would have happened there? Just do us in for being on TV, because they think that's who you are, like you said at the start.
Yeah.
So I always feel quite quite lucky, isn't it? To say like lads always liked this because you're the lad of Geordie Shore kind of thing, and girls like fancied you because you were like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, they could have been. I've seen it on the other hand, and the girls struggled a lot at the start. The girls got battered at the start.
Yeah. Just to correct though, I did when I said at the start, I didn't mean I had a bad perception.
No,
of you.
no, I know.
What I was trying to say was you build up a character.
Yeah.
Because of all I've seen is you on telly, and when you get there, I sat down having the coffee with this really intelligent, really like business minded. Like I was learning stuff. He was telling me about all this thing, and I was like, this is mad because you do create these personas about everyone you see on telly, and you're like, you're completely wrong about what they're like. But so yeah. So we're on to season 2 then. So you said season 2, you got paid. You started to. You obviously.
It wasn't a lot. I think
a job.
I think this is when it kind of we started earning money, but not even from the show. I don't even think we even made that much from Geordie Shore. But we might have got like 10 grand for like season 2. Obviously, colossal. Went on the dole 6 months earlier. I was like 10 grand. But it was when I came out of there. I came out, and then after the Magaluf Madness went on TV, a manager.
I love that, by the way. I absolutely love that season.
It was Jay was there.
Yeah, Jay was
Jay was on fire, but it was just a wicked season. And then who came? I got a phone call from a manager. We all had to sit down with managers and pick a manager. And I remember I went. He was like, "Oh, do you want to do a nightclub appearance?" I was like, "What's that?" At the time, I hadn't been paid the money, so I'm still skint at this point. Magaluf Madness has gone on TV, and I have not got a penny in my bank. I'm like, how is this working? I can't get on the street or go to the metro, but everyone knows who I am. He was like, well, I can get you a gig tonight, and if you want to go to Watford, to Oceana in Watford, student. I was like, to do what? He was like, just go. The promoter will tell everyone you're going to be there from Geordie Shore. Get there, just get smashed, get some birds and that, just have a bit of a mad one, and they'll just give you 2.5 grand after. I went, 2.5 grand? I went, mate, I'll fucking jog to Watford for 2.5 grand. I'll set off now.
Yeah.
I got there. Joey Essex was there because obviously Towie had started by this point.
Yeah.
So I walk in, took my pal with us. We got there. Petrol paid for. I was like, this is sound. This got there. And it literally went on stage for like 4 minutes, just like and it was people jumping up, and then we're in the VIP. It was just all the hostesses, all the birds, and that. And I was thinking, it's just like a night out. This, but it was just like being out, but. Bottles just kept coming. They were like, do you want any more bottles? Any more great? Do you want any more vodka? Anything like that? I was like, it's mad this. And then at the end, I was just about to leave. The guy was, oh, you off? I was like, yeah, mate, it's 3 a.m. because you might stay for an hour. I was there till fucking 3 in the morning. I went, I'll do overtime, pal. Like, they were like, you can come at 11 and you can leave at 12. And I was like, mate, I'll be here till 3 in the morning. Don't you worry about that. I went, how are you going? Thanks for coming. Absolute pleasure. Everyone's loved it. Students, everyone's it's all over Facebook and that. But there's your little envelope. And I forgot. I was like, why is he just giving me 2.5 grand, right? Just to do what I've been doing for the last 5 years with my pals. That's what it felt like. And that's when I went back to manager and I was like, how many of these can you get me? And he was like, oh, mate, I can get you as many of these as you want. Because back then, that's what it was. I feel really lucky that we hit and kind of started nightclub appearances, because that is where I made 80% of my money.
Really?
Yeah, million. Geordie Shore, I did 15 seasons, probably got a max 30 grand a season. Even in his height of peak, 30 grand. Mate, nightclub appearances, getting 2.5 grand, 3 grand, 3.5 grand, whatever. But I'm doing like, he came back and he went, how many do you want to do? I went, just get as many as you can. He came back and went, there you go, there's a list. And it was like 62 in a row. I was like, wow. So I was like, where am I? For me, I went, leave your job, whatever you're doing, you work in an office. I went, pie that off. I went, you get £70 a night management fee. So I went, mate, you're getting like 500 quid a week, but we get free drink, free travel, and we'll just party around the freaking country and the world. He was like, yes, sound, I'll leave. So it was just me and him in the car every day. I was like, where are we? Glasgow, like this club in Glasgow, sound. Walk in, get smashed. There's the envelope, guys. I would go home, like, past Newcastle, pop my granddad's like, can you do anything with this? He's like, what is it? I was like, fucking 12.5 grand cash. He's like, I'll put it in the safe. He's like,
old school.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And mate, I think I did, the minimum I would have done is probably like 200 a year.
On an appearance.
For about 7 years.
Wow.
Easy. And that's what I did. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a flat. I literally popped in my granddad's for like 2-3 nights. And that's all I did. I literally, from season 2 to when I left when I was 30, so probably like 22, 23 till I was 30, my life was literally, and I've seen you talk about like DJing life and blah, but you might have done like 1 or 2 gigs and came back for a week. No, mate, this was every night. I think one year I did 321 nights out.
What?
In a year. That's like staying in January and going out from the 1st of Feb till New Year, solid religiously, drinking every night.
So you obviously, I can see that you're talking about it in a really like, it was class sort of way, but did that affect you at all? Like mentally, physically? How were you?
Do you know?
Did you
I mean, I've done a million tests, but I've got ADHD proper.
we
Like,
talk about this all the time on the show. We both have. We all have.
No, but I was like, maybe it's like, how did you not get tired? How did you get through all that? And then you talk about when you actually like, you get that pissed or you have enough coffee or whatever gear, whatever, it actually brings you up to normal. So you can just like, but I didn't get tired. I just, like, even now I could do the amount of things I can do in a day. It's just, let's say I'll go to the gym, then I'll come out and I'll go and play paddle, then I'll come out and I'll go to a high rock session, then I'll come out and I'll go run 5K. And it's like, well, how have you done all that in a day? So I've always had that. I just don't get tired.
You're the perfect person for that job.
Literally perfect. My manager was like, can you do another 20? I was like, yeah. Where am I going? Well, you go to Magaluf tomorrow, then Napa 2 days, then you go to freaking Cyprus, then you go to Bulgaria, then you're in Scotland, then Dublin. I'm like, yeah, so.
He would be perfect as a DJ. I'm not fucking complaining one bit.
Nah.
Yeah, but what I found interesting, what Gaz was saying then though as well, is when he was like, this is an unbelievable conversation as well, but when he said like he got handed the envelope, his reaction, a lot of people get that envelope and they're like, nice one, see you later. Gaz went, how many of these can you get me? As soon as he said it, he's like, right, that's it. So that work ethic's there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do that when I
went
and played paddle for the first time in Harrogate. I walked in, I was like, this is sick. I was like, how many courts rent are in here? How big's this building? How much rent are you renting to pay on this? How many courts are in here? I can't help it.
Yeah.
I can't,
that's it.
everywhere I go, everywhere, little coffee stands, I'm like, can't be much rent for that. Like that. I love that. I don't know why.
But this is another reason why we had this conversation, to come down here and have this conversation, because when I was sat with you having that coffee, I was like, yeah, your brain works in a very interesting way.
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where, because let's say I was a Tyler, I would have been just dead end thingy. I don't know if it's just I've seen a lot social media wise, like obviously, so that's what I was doing. Go back to the Geordie Shore, right? So I was doing Geordie Shore, so I'd go and walk into Geordie Shore, I'd film for like 42 nights out. I'd literally, 42 nights out, I'd get my phone back, because you had no phone when you did Geordie Shore.
Took them off, yeah?
Yeah, no phones, no internet, no TV, because obviously they want to create that bubble. I'd come out, manager would be like, you have a good time? Yeah, sound, there's your list. I'd be like, right, sound. And I'd be like, where am I starting? He was like, oh, you're in Bournemouth. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, Bournemouth, where? And then it'd be like, right, well, it came out, it's 1st September. I'd be like, it's fucking Freshers, isn't it? He'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, oh, for fuck. Nah, I did 7 years of Freshers. Believe me. Freshers, I used to do 2 a night. 2 nights, I would be like, right, you're doing like Sheffield Freshers from like 10 till 12. Then you're doing the Hallam Freshers.
You double up.
From 1 till 2. I'd be like, right, sound. Sometimes I'll go to Ireland and I'd do like an under 18s. They do under 18s disco, so I'd do them from like 9 till 11. And then I would go back to the hotel, have a little shower and that. So sometimes you're getting like £5 a night, do you know what I mean? So that's where the bulk, I would say, because I would say on average, if you're doing 20 PAs a month, you're making 40-50 grand a month off the appearances. But back then there wasn't the endorsements, there wasn't Instagram. So weirdly, we got a phone call from MTV. They were like, you need to come down to Camden. We're like, why? They went, oh, you're all coming in for the day. You're going to get trained on Twitter.
What?
We had a Twitter training day. That's how mad it was. So Twitter didn't exist. Instagram hadn't been...
Social media training?
Instagram hadn't been invented yet, right? Snapchat hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
There was just Facebook. So we got like season 4, mate. There was just Facebook. I had 1,000 friends. There was just me and my pals on Facebook. Like, apart from that was it. So I got down this day, walking to MTV, and they were like, right, this guy's there. Everyone's sitting around, fucking, what's this, man? They're like, right. So this is a big PowerPoint thing. This is Twitter. So what it is, on Twitter, you can like connect with your fans. I'm like, what? And then if you want to speak to each other, you just put @ and then like J and be like, but I can just message them. They were like, nah, but if you want to speak so everyone else can see it, I'm like, yeah, you're fried our heads. Yeah. Honestly, we sat there all day trying to get our heads around Twitter. We're like, and if you put a hashtag and everyone else puts hashtags, then it trends. What? Like, mate, we were just mind boggled by this. I was like, right, sound. They're like, do you want your name to be Gary G Shore or Gaz G Shore? I was like, oh, Gaz G Shore, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And then we went away, and then it was like, then the show would go on and people would start tweeting us. And that's when I guess more the businessy side comes in, because there's not much more you can do apart from nightclub appearances at this point. And the girls struggled at the start because there was no social media.
Yeah.
So girls now probably benefit more from social media. But at the start, it was all like, I was just driving around getting smashed. I wasn't on my phone doing ads and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like that didn't exist yet. So Sikslik at the start, remember Sikslik?
Yeah.
So like brands back then were like Sikslik. Well, the lads had just started, Baz and that had just started Sikslik. There was Fresh Ego Kid, lad from Manchester. And I think there's maybe one or two more. But I was about to go and film season 6, and Baz from Sikslik goes, "Guys, can I please just meet you, give these tops?" And I was like, "Fuck's sake, mate." I was like, "What do you want to give us?" He was like, "Just some tops for filming." And I was like, "Right." He met us on the side of the road, on Scotchy Road, right?
Yeah.
Pulled over, he went, "There, give us 10 of them." Remember them baseball jerseys?
Yeah.
That's how this started.
Yeah.
So he hands me 10 baseball jerseys. I went, "What the fuck are them?" "Cheers, pal." "Yeah, sound." Me and Scott went filming in Australia, in Sydney. It's hot. You can't really wear t-shirts, sticky as out. We were filming like really hot part of Australia. So I was like, I've got these baseball tops in my fucking suitcase. So we'd wear them and just do like one button, and they were quite breezy and stuff. Yeah. And then that's all we wore. The whole season was these remember them fairly baseball tops? Mate, they were sick, to be fair. And then we just wore them the whole season. It was the best promo Sikslik could have ever got. And we wore them the whole season. And I came back, in my first nightclub appearance, when I got back, was like, say, Edinburgh. Mate, I've walked in and the whole fucking club is wearing these baseball tops. Sikslik.
What's that like, knowing that people are wearing them?
And I was like, and I didn't even realise this. And I remember I got a line shaved in my head. Don't know why. Can't even remember this day why we got that. But I had my hair done. It was getting really high. So I was like, actually, on this side, you just let's put a fucking side pot. Let's put a line in there. And I went in this club, and there's all these 18-year-olds, all with these baseball tops on, and the amount of them that had fucking a line in their head. And I was like, oh my God, they're fucking, they're copying us.
Yeah.
We've got, and I still to this day don't think I realised the power we had back then. I don't. There's no. I wish there was a way that we could put it on TV now, fresh, to see how big it would be in today's market. Because, mate, it was mental. Where we were like, and I seen that and I thought, wait, they're all wearing this. I went straight back to the lad that Andy, who sells them in Newcastle in the shop, and I was like, mate, forget six. We need to make our own brand and quick. And that's when we came up with 11 Degrees.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't tell anybody I own 11 Degrees. Never mention it. I'm just going to wear it and mix it in with Sikslik and the other brands. So that if there was ever a big moment in Geordie Shore, they were like, right, let's get ready for Vicky's leaving scene. I was like, 2 seconds. Fucking 11 Degrees top on. I stand right at the front. Yeah, Vicky, you all right? And that's when we created 11 Degrees, and it started off pretty small. And then obviously I just wore it in and amongst doing PAs. And then I started going to PAs and seeing people all in 11 Degrees. And I was like, it's working. And then that's when 11 Degrees started.
So this is the business element to his mind. So he saw the opportunity.
Same again. It's the same. It's the envelope moment again. Yeah, Gaz's brain, like listening to him, obviously you can see the entrepreneurship there, but I like the story because to be a young lad going out partying and being on the dole, going in the Marines, coming back, all these kind of events have all come together, but when opportunity has presented itself in front of you, you've not even, it's like when a shark smells blood, you just like, boom, I need to do this, I need to do that.
Yeah. And it's because I look back, I don't even feel like I knew I was doing it.
Yeah, but you can see them I can, hearing you say it, I'm sat here and I can see the exact moment where you're like I said, there's a portion of people where they'll get that envelope, they'll go, oh, nice one, mate, $2,500 mint, and shoot off. The first thing you've done is gone, how many of these can I get? And as soon as he's give the green light, you're like, I don't care, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity there with the hoodie, fair play, really good.
Yeah, and then I think with 11 Degrees, that kind of was going on in the background while I was doing all the PAs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like long story short, 11 Degrees turned at one point, like the Sikslik boys, the guy I met on the side of the road, were obviously all in contact. At one point, there was 3 of them boys, and they were worth like 50 million.
Wow.
He was like, mate, I'll always be grateful for just meeting you at the side of that road.
Amazing.
And I was like, it's just mad. Hera London.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Ash, who owned Hera, he rang us. He's like, I want to do skinny jeans, blah blah. I want you to be the face of Hera. I'll give you. I stupidly didn't say yes. Like he went, I'll give you 15%. I was like, nah. Yeah, I just pays for the shoot, mate. I've got 11. I'm busy. I don't know what. there's a few that I've messed up on. I'll tell you this one. I'll tell you the fucking biggest one, and you'll be like, no way. Like there's one brand that I could have had about 25% in, and I said no.
Go on, do it now. It's on your tip of your tongue.
Go on.
You won't know what it is, right?
Oh, right, okay.
So my manager's a scouser, blah blah. He always had mad ideas. He's like, we're gonna do a pop up shop here. We're gonna do this. What about this? What about a protein fucking vodka? And I'm like, what? And he'd be like, no, sound like. And to be fair, it would be good, but would it flop? He's like, you're gonna go, and he's sometimes not follow through with things. He's a bit of a, do you know them ones that just a bit, but he just shouts those ideas at you over the years. We're just like, okay, shut up, man. And he used to manage Charlie Slough.
Okay.
So he turns around and goes,
I know where you're going with
yeah, turn around and went, Gaz, me and Charlie are doing a vodka. Do you want to get involved? He goes, I'm going to put in money in, you just have like 20%. I'll have thingy and Charlie will have 50. He went, we'll just all promote it, because I'd helped him promote some of his BBC One shows and stuff on Twitter. And he's like, once you're involved, I was like, okay, another vodka. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. Fucking AU Vodka.
Mate, I was on about AU Vodka this week with my brother. They're all over Ibiza.
Yeah.
AU Vodka.
Mate, it's everywhere. I was in the shop on the way here, and the train station was selling cans of it.
Yeah, them gold cans.
And I was
mixed.
like, oh my God. That is like nearly probably a £1 billion company now. Not far off, 500 million or something.
So, knowing that, do you know it's like some people who like lose the lottery ticket sort of story?
That was.
How does that feel knowing that
Kills us. Pardon me. It honestly does. It's like one of them ones where that's like, you'd never worry about money again kind of thing. Big ones. Same with like the Hera. Hera, he was like, don't, and I said no, and I did the shoot, got paid for it again. There's so many brands that were made on Geordie Shore. Your Sikslik, your freshly created Sinners, on the S on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We used to all wear them.
Yeah.
The low V Sinner ones.
Yeah.
Hera. We all used to wear Hera on Geordie Shore. Which Ash is still going now. We offered to take over a little bit actually with 11 degrees to help them. Which said no to. I remember being in a room with Ross from Couture Club. Literally, Ross had started Couture. We were in a hotel room in the Hilton in Manchester, and he was like, "But yeah, I want to like, I've got it." I was like, "Mate, if you'll be fine. You can do it. Just maybe get an investor to help you, or someone who can just come in." And I think that's where he got his business partner, and then boom, Couture Club. And to be fair, all credit to him. That's one of the only ones that survived kind of this long. 'Cause I kind of sold my shares in 11 just before lockdown. And I probably made more of 11 or just as much as 11 than all the appearances like put together. But actual Geordie Shore, you didn't actually make a lot of. So you'll see people who have just done Geordie Shore, example, maybe like Marty or someone, or who's been on like 3 or 4 series, might got like $8,000 a season. Booking 3 seasons, $24,000.
Yeah.
But then they just won't want to go back and get probably a normal job because it's a bit like, you feel like you can't. But yeah, the clothing part of it, that was kind of, for me, that was, because obviously I would take a wage from that as well. Do you know what I mean? So I was doing all nightclub appearances, and then you're getting a director's fee of 10, 15 grand a month from 11. So you're getting the money from 11, you get your nightclub appearances, you're still doing your Geordie Shore stuff. So there's a bit coming from everywhere at one point.
No, he's creating that octopus that Mark Knight talked about.
Yeah.
Because Mark Knight, the DJ Mark Knight, he was talking about creating that octopus of businesses. So he's not just got the performance, he's got the label, he's got
you've got to have a lot.
All these different revenue streams. But we've talked quite a lot about the stuff that you enjoyed about the reality TV. But was there anything that particularly you struggled with at all during that time of being on?
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I was that busy. I don't even had time to think. That period of that, because now you look at my diary. When did I stop? I didn't even have a holiday. I did not at once say I'm gonna have 5 days in Barbados. Not once.
You did that bother you that you couldn't do that?
No, I could have done it.
Oh, right, okay.
But when I see 10 PAs lined up, and I was like, this isn't gonna last forever. I'm fucking, and that was that mentality there. But I think the only time it really probably, cause I didn't stop. When I think about it, like I didn't even need a house. That's how much I was away.
So you just living in hotels, pretty much?
I would film Geordie Shore,
and
then I'd be in hotels. I'd have like 40 PAs in a row.
Yeah.
And then if I had 3 days off, I'd just go home, Mum, do the washing, go to my granddad's. I'd literally sleep for 2 days, wake up and go, right, where am I going now? You've got 27 days in a row. I'll be seeing a month. And then I'd be like, oh, actually, no, I'm filming. So I'll come back for a day, film the entrance shot and go on Geordie Shore away with Geordie Shore for 6-7 weeks, come out. So over a year, you film 3 seasons. That's about 18 weeks. You've only got like 40 weeks left, and that would be probably filled up with majority of nightclub appearances.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually, until kind of Emma got pregnant later on, I was like nearly 30, 29, 30. And that's when like people like Chloe and that were coming in. And she was like, like when she first walked in, she's like, oh my God, I've watched this since I've been in school. And so I was like, yo, I was like, how old are you? She's like, I'm 20. I was like, or 19. I was like, fucking, I'm off.
Was that the
yeah,
last
when
domino?
20-year-olds are coming in and they're like, oh, I've been watching you since, like, I was just like, fuck me, like, I'm 29 now. Do you know what I mean? I've done like 17 seasons here. Like,
Is that how many seasons you did?
I did like 3 or 4 X on the Beaches and then fucking all them. And I was just like, I always said 30, I'm off. Right. 29, and then that, I would say that was more, again, I was lucky in the respect of I left, then I had the baby to look forward to kind of thing. And then that's when that first probably 4 months, I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
All I'm used to is going out every night. So like we've got a place, and I was like, the Saturday would come, and I'm thinking, do I go out normally, or do I get paid for it? Do I stop doing PAs? Or that was probably a little bit, and that's when golf came in.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't get a chance to be depressed or like, oh my God, or whiffed. And I want to put this in as well. I was never, ever, ever addicted or thingy to alcohol.
Really?
If you said to me, and I've never had to this day, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I actually like drinking, but I can drink. And if I want to go out, I'll drink, and I'll happily go out tonight with you, and we'll get fucking smashed or whatever.
So this is the perception I'm talking about. When I see you on telly.
Yeah, you think that?
Yeah, that's what I think.
And then if he said, we're going to go out tonight and have a mad one, I'll have a mad one tonight, but I wouldn't even think about alcohol for another 2 months until he said, do you want to go out again? I wouldn't even think about it. At one point in Geordie Shore, just for the crack, like everyone was smoking. If you smoked, you got a little break. I've never smoked in my life, do you know what I mean? So I was like, what are the menthols like? I was like, can I have 10 minutes outside? They were like, guys, are you using one? I was like, yeah. But then to the point where somebody would be smoked like 10 menthols, I was like, what am I doing? But I could just go, and then just not think about it, do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't get addicted to things like that. I'm more addicted to personality like golf or high rocks or fucking whatever. Like, right, that then I'm like, I will get good, do you know what I mean? But the whole drinking thing, I just drank because I was going out.
You notice this, that trait there of being able to focus and channel that let's say addiction, because I would say people who start golf, they go, I'm fucking addicted. I have to play like every week. You've got quite a interesting, like, not superpower, but you've got this power of being able to like channel that addiction into whatever you want and say no to alcohol. Yeah, because some people are just all in with everything.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what it is. If you said like,
it's a good thing.
Like if I went for Sunday lunch, right, at the Carvery,
and
I'm going to be there, and I'm there for an hour, and you went to a drink, there is no way in hell I'm getting a pint. I don't like the taste of beer, right? Why would I want a beer when I can have a Coke? I love Coke. Like, do you know what I mean? Fucking Diet Coke, a little Coke Zero, a little bit of ice, boom. I'm not going to have a pint of Peroni, mate. No. And people love that, love the taste of it, they love a pint. Yeah. If I was watching the football at home, I'm sitting there with a full fat can of Coke. Like, I'm not sitting there with 4 cans. Yeah. So that drink element for me has never been there.
Interesting.
Never. I couldn't. My mate was like, I'm going to stop drinking. I was like, why? He was like, so this is my mentality. I went, why you haven't been out? And he went, I know I haven't. I went, so why are you stopping drinking? He went, because I've been drinking 3-4 gins every night in the house. I went, have you? Why? I couldn't get my head around it. I was like, that's baffled me, that. So for that respect, I just didn't. But leaving obviously Geordie Shore, then literally I picked up someone, I don't know, gives a golf club, and you couldn't play golf. I said, I'm not going to golf. Fuck that. There's no fucking way I'm going to play golf. And literally, I went, hit a ball. I was all right-ish. I hit a few little putts and that. And I was like, I might try. It was someone's dad. And I was like, I'm going to try and get good. So I got a lesson. And then literally, that was it. I had a lesson. I played golf on a Saturday. I stayed in on Friday, got really excited to play golf. Played golf Saturday. I was thinking about how shit I was Sunday and Monday. Then I'd be like, right, well, there's another little comp on Wednesday. Play Wednesday. And I'd be like, fuck up. I was good then. That drive was crap. And then all these new shoes are out. And I would start buying little golf bits. And that's what I spent my time doing. And I'll go to driving range on night times and I'll play. And before I knew it, it'd been like 5 weeks. And I hadn't even thought about going out. I was like, oh, maybe I don't actually need to go out. Like, that was just my work and that was my job. And then I literally, mate, I played golf for about a year. I think I went out twice in that year. And then after that, for about 5 years, I probably went out for my birthday, Christmas, and a couple of lads' birthdays. And apart from that, I was just back to the gym and golfing.
And now that's obviously part of what you do.
And then again, the brain kicks in.
The brain kicks in.
I'm like, right, golfing. What do I do with this?
Yeah.
And I was just I wanted to get all right at it first. You can't really, you can go on and be shit. But again, started golfing. Instagram obviously was a thing now, so I did Instagram, and then I was putting on like, remember Instagram TV? Did you remember that?
Yeah.
Just put like longer videos in there. And someone was like, you might as well just do a YouTube channel. I was like, oh, fucking hell, really? And there was a new world to me, YouTube. And then I started putting videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and I did that for about, and it was mad for me because the views on YouTube are so low. I could put a story on Instagram and you get 400k views. I'm putting this really heartfelt video I filmed for 4 hours on YouTube. We've got like 1,000 likes. I'm like 1,000 views. I'm like, what's this? Why haven't I got more?
Foreign to you.
Yeah, I was like, it was alien to me. I was like,
yeah.
nah, I don't like this. I was like, it's crap. Let's just quit. And he was like, no, let's just keep doing this. YouTube. I did YouTube for a year, right? We were doing a house renovation at the time, and I was putting all my time in this YouTube. I was making like £1,200 on that YouTube little app. I was like, 1,200 quid. So like, builder, the bills come in for like 43 grand. I'm like, oh my days. But yeah, and luckily, then I got a sponsor. I think it was American Golf. I was like, oh, there's a little bit more, so I can get a sponsor. Then I started working with like a holiday company, and I was like, and then obviously the 11 Degrees kicked in, and the guy actually who bought 11 Degrees, he got in touch. He was like, why don't you do a clothing brand, another one? I was like, I'm not doing it. What about golf? And I went, well, we can try it, but it's weird, YouTube, for me. Like, YouTube is like having your own TV show. That's what I think of it like. So when I get asked to do TV shows now, I'm like, well, why? If you've got 140,000 subscribers on YouTube, that is better than having your own TV show. You've got a more loyal audience, and 80% of people now it shows you on your analytics, watch it on TV. So if I'm putting
that... Oh, right. You have that tracker.
Yeah.
Tell you, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so,
it tells you what device and everything.
So for this, you're right, okay.
So I'm getting like... So I was like, wait there. I put out 2 videos this week for an hour, like a match against Jimmy Bullard or a match against whatever. And the average view time's like 38 minutes, and they've all watched it on their TV. Mint. So basically, I'm still on TV because they're watching me on a TV, sitting down. And now when I go out, 70% of people talk to me about golf, not Geordie Shore anymore. It's like, yes, guys, seen that match the other night, mate. It's 6 shots. Seen a bit? And I'll go in the play area with the kids and they'll be like, mate, I seen that match last week. You was golfing this weekend? And it's like, it's all golf. It's no one. And I'm like, you watch like different walks of life and stuff. So it's like, it's kind of the whole audience now has gone into that. And then, yeah, we started ATSG, which is a golf clothing brand. And
how's it going?
Yeah, strength to strength. Been going about a year now. I think this year could do 600-800 gross like thingies.
Amazing, man.
So it's just one of them. But now I'm thinking the same as 11 Degrees. If I kind of, so now again the bigger picture is, I used to think YouTube was the bigger picture, and the content was the bigger picture, but it's not. You've got to have a business behind the content or a product. So you keep your marketing going. So the YouTube's the marketing, the Instagram's the marketing. I'm not even looking at the money on YouTube anymore. Not really bothered. Put my time and effort into it. It then all funnels back into like Geordie Shore.
Geordie Shore was the YouTube channel.
Geordie Shore was the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
11 Degrees was the clothing. Now the golf is the YouTube channel, and the ATSG is 11 Degrees. So it's almost like, I feel like it's, and again, some people, obviously more people know I own ATSG, but I've took a step back and I don't ram it down their throats. I've never gone and been like, oh, buy this or thingy. Like we almost make it look like I just wear it. I'm a big believer of that as well. Just wearing your brand, not even mentioning it. So I don't ever go on YouTube and be like, welcome back to the channel, guys. By the way, there's a little deal on at the minute. Nah, never. I just literally play in it, wear it, and people go, he's wearing, what is that? And they'll go on, and I think that's a better way, personally, of doing it. But yeah, ATSG has just gone, it's just repeating itself. So I'm probably going to keep that 3-4 years, and then I'll probably look at selling that.
Amazing. What a story, man. Just created your own environment from like a previous, like the MTV environment, and then created your own golfing thing. We're exactly the same setup.
Golf's amazing, though, man. I honestly, I've got a lot of time for it. I think, again, jumping out of obviously your Geordie Shore days and drinking and stuff, and loads of people come to me and be like, how have you done this? And I'm like, now, for me, I think everyone gets to 30-ish and you can't go out anymore. So what do you do? And that's where a lot of lads kind of slip into depression, and they're sitting in the house and like, I'm too old to go in Newcastle anymore.
Because everyone's 18 and 19.
Yeah, I went out and I was everyone's 21. I was like, what am I doing? Even I was like, what am I doing here? They knew who I was. I was like, what am I doing here? I felt weird.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you do? So like now, for me, I play golf, which is a hobby. I started doing the high rocks training about 8 months ago. Padel was a massive thing for me. Back in the gym, but doing more different than just backing arms or whatever. So, and then I've met people through all them different ones, and they're now, I've got me mates that I've always had, but just meeting other people with better hobbies than going out. Do you know what I mean? I think that's, like now I don't think about going out. If I do, like, I'm going out with the boxing next week. So I'll go out and that'll be it. Do you know what I mean? I'll just come back and just crack on as normal.
Well, you found your purpose. We talk about this quite a lot in the podcast, and it always comes. Seb was talking about before this episode, like he kind of lost his way and he brought it back to center. Like, what am I doing this for? And you found golf is like you've got a strong purpose in that now, and you've got a business, but you enjoy it. It's a hobby, but you've also then got a business within that hobby, which is the dream. I was going to ask you actually on that because we'll wrap up soon, but. For people who are wanting to do something that they love, have you got any advice for people out there who are potentially thinking about starting a business but haven't taken that leap?
See, it's a hard one for me to answer that because I can pretty much start a business in anything I wanted to because of the following. If I was clever enough, if I wanted to start a drink, do you know what I mean? I could, right, I'm going to bring out a new water.
Right, but let me interject there because you could, but you've still got the motivation and the drive to do it. A lot of people start brands who've got following and they don't work. So
true, I know.
You're maybe being a bit humble there.
I know.
The following helps. Don't get me wrong, but
some people started the flop. You've got to
even with the 200,000 followers,
how to do it. I guess, but I just don't know how. I don't know how to answer it. Is in like one. You've got to know your market, I guess. You have to. It's all right having a hobby. Your hobby might be paddle, but then you've got to think, right, well, what's missing? You can't compete with like Adidas or whatever. So is there a golf? For me, there's not a paddle clothing brand realistically out there at the minute. Do you start that? Do you go into something and be like, right, well, do I open a paddle? I love paddle. Find an area where there's not any paddle courts. Start that. That's what I'm starting. That's honestly what I'm doing. I'm on about starting a paddle YouTube channel.
But don't tell anyone in the show then,
because no one's doing paddle's fastest growing sport in the UK.
Yeah,
right?
Is it?
It's fastest growing, one of the fastest growing sports in the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
right, so that someone told me that way. Fastest growing sport in the UK. I went, is it? Got in the car. I was like, what if I did a paddle YouTube channel? So at the minute,
cogs spinning.
I'm just trying to. I'm gonna film one in the next few weeks to see if I can make it work. As in, like with a couple of GoPros and the net editor. We'll edit with a scorecard. Then me and my partner, I'll then go around challenging people, like get John Terry on or Thingy on, and be like, right, who wants a match? It replicates golf. So I do like subscriber challenges where people on Instagram can challenge us. Fine, I'll come to your paddle court, challenge me.
Class.
I get lessons, like I film my golf lessons.
Yeah.
And then you just go around playing and challenging other people like that. And nobody, apart from the pros, there's no just normal person on YouTube playing paddle. So that's my way into paddle. I can't just play paddle. I have to do something in paddle. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there you go. You've actually just answered the question without even realising. You've found a market that isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Is that being done? No. Well, I'm going to think about doing it.
That's a good point. Yeah. If you whatever your hobby is, just have a little think of what is missing in that, because it's your hobby.
Yeah.
You know it inside out. If your hobby is badminton, right? Just sit down and be like, what's missing in badminton? Is there a badminton club? Yes. Is there one for younger people? No. Do we aim at younger people? How do you make that hobby? But obviously, how do you make it specific for you? Like say all the High Rocks places now. High Rocks is taken off. Set up a High Rocks gym. Do you know what I mean? You just need a little studio. Just do it that way. So it's like
what Barry's did, innit?
Yeah.
My ideal scenario at the minute for me would be to open a warehouse kind of thing up not far from me. And 3 things I love at the minute is coffee, paddle, and High Rocks. So I want to find a place and put in 3-4 paddle courts, an amazing coffee place in the middle that sells food, ice baths, saunas, a High Rocks bit, and then obviously your hubs in the middle. And that would be like that's what's next kind of kicking is in like something like that.
Well, we'll talk about that when you launch it. In fact, there's one thing you mentioned before we wrap up and do the pass the book. There's one thing you mentioned upstairs before we left mine about guys doing podcasts. Remember what you said?
Oh,
and you haven't had a chance to ask it, but I want you to.
Well, I'm going to say first of all, I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
So I've not watched Geordie Shore, but I did watch the first season, which means that I did see Gaz. Yeah. But prior to this, I didn't know who Gaz were. But obviously I did, but I didn't realise. But I watched the first one with my missus back in the day, and it was the rawness of Geordie Shore, because I don't really watch TV and I'm not big into reality TV, Big Brother and all that. Watched the first one, but it was the rawness of it. But for me, one thing I've always wanted to ask somebody who, and your story, Gaz, is amazing, because to go into the Marines, come out, then get an apprenticeship, potentially tiling in the Metro Centre. I know it because all my mates from the North East, they're all fucking party boys. Always party boys. And that's the thing with the North East. It's got that warm northern banter, but that grit and that graft as well. So to be on the dole and then be catapulted into what ended up being one of the biggest shows, like, obviously not just in the UK, but around the world, like people fucking all over the world, you know, people from Geordie Shore. How did you process? Obviously, you've said it already, you know, being so busy, you didn't have time. But how do you process going from there to kind of where you're at now? Sometimes do you have to like, is there a pressure, a social media pressure and presence that's there that does affect you? Or do you just deal with it?
Water over duck's back sort of thing.
Yeah. Social media, I don't get a lot of, social media is quite there's so many now.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, the one I spend the most time on is probably just Snapchat.
Yeah.
And it's weird that.
Is it?
Yeah. I love Snapchat. I just feel it's such a nice place, such a nice app. I could get 40 million views a month and I'll get one bit of a dodgy message.
Okay.
Instagram and Facebook, I kind of know them for different, like, Facebook's brutal, TikTok's brutal, like, Instagram's all right-ish, do you know what I mean? Depends, but I think with social media, I've just grew up around it. I've kind of just become immune to it. If someone gives us, like, you're a dick, that isn't... I suppose it's hard when you've got kids.
Yeah.
They start hitting on your parenting skills or this or your whatever. Maybe that can affect us, but social media, I've just got... Let's say I went for them Twitter lessons.
Yeah. And
then Instagram came and they were like, that one's for speaking to the fan. This one's just pictures. And I was like, what? What, And then it was like, this one... It's like stories. So Snapchat, if you don't do a little bit of video, do this. I'm like, freaking hell. So I kind of just, I always say that I'm really good on social media. Like, I feel like I understand it because I've grew up around it. I've had 15 years of growing up around it. Yeah. But I wouldn't say I find it, I'd say it's just duck up and watch back, but it doesn't bother us. Yeah. But I'm quite a normal kid. Do you know what I mean? I'm not I couldn't care what I'm wearing. I just couldn't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, I'm one of them people where if it finished, I left. I'm quite happy just, I go on a corner at Pure Gym and just frigging go to the shops and just plod around. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like a pretentious, like, I wouldn't say I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm not that arsed about it all.
No,
I had an amazing time.
Get that though from this.
Definitely.
Had an amazing time. It was unbelievable. It ended. But then again, if I hadn't done well off it, would I be spiraled out? Like, there's people on the show, and I won't mention names, they haven't got a house, they haven't got a business, they've got nothing, they haven't got, like, and they're still just flying around getting pissed and partying. Like, they can't get out of it, and it's hard. It's horrible to see. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's not. I was lucky that I say the golf came at a very, very, very important time for me. I think if I hadn't started playing golf, I don't know what I would have done. Because I'd have been 30 years old, gone from clubbing 7 nights a week to nothing. To just sitting in the house like...
Nah, but you say lucky, you probably would have done something else. Knowing what you did with the clothing brand, the 11...
But what kind of can you play every week? Like, well, you need to play five-a-side.
Yeah, but it would have been something else. Something else would have come into your life. It just happened. The golf came into your life, and then you were like, right, business. The clothes, that just came in, and you were like, right, business. It would have been something else.
Yeah.
So I think, again, coming back to what we were saying before, I think you've been quite humble. I think everything you've said today shows that you've been resilient, even to the fact that if someone calls you out on social media, you don't give a fuck. Yeah, and
that's all for other people. I think if you just come into it now, I would not like to go on TV now.
Yeah,
no way. There wasn't. We get a few bad tweets. Instagram reels didn't exist. There was no memes. There was no nothing like that. No one's like, taking a piss out of you with writing on, and then a picture of you and all them things. If you come out and look at all them, fuck me, like we didn't have any of that. Do you know what I mean? It was just like the odd words, like, but it gets all pictures and everyone's proper going at you on all these different platforms. You can't escape it. You come off Twitter and it's on Instagram, come on Facebook. So like, I wouldn't like to go on TV now, like, 1,000,000%. I feel very lucky to go on and experience them first few seasons where there was no social media.
Yeah.
Because then that could have ruined Geordie Shore. It could have absolutely ruined it. Everyone could have been like, oh my God, everyone hates us.
Yeah.
They're calling us fat, they're calling us this, they're calling us this, and I'm a dickhead. Could have killed it. And then we almost like slowly got Twitter. Then by the time we got Instagram, we were like season 7 or something. Do you know what I mean? Like it was
like trickled in.
Trickled in like
really
bit by bit. By the end of it, I was like, look, what's all these social medias? Like, fucking hell. And then now, imagine coming out now. Right, so we haven't got any nightclub appearances for you. However, you've got to do TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. Fuck that. And you wouldn't even make that much money now because you come out. We made all our money off them nightclub appearances. Now, well, I mean, we get a few brand deals, but they would fizz out after like 8 months when the next one comes on. Yeah. Like, I feel lucky. To put it in perspective nowadays, right? Yeah. Imagine the same people did Love Island 17 times in a row.
Ugh.
Imagine how big that 8 people will be.
Yeah.
Imagine 8 people did Love Island, and then they got with each other, they got whatever, then they left. I don't know what's happening with it. And then they came back
again. And
they were like, oh, they're still arguing. Oh, they're getting engaged. They're split up. And then they left. And then imagine 17 seasons of Love Island with the same people. That's the only way you could actually put in perspective of how big Geordie Shore was. Because it was the same people over and over again. But it's not all good though. I'll just go into it, but I have fucked up as well. There's a lot of business things I've done and then haven't worked. I'm not just something. I've put 100 grand into this and flopped, and do you know what I mean? And 100 grand into that and that's flopped. So it's not. I don't want everyone just to think it's all guns and roses. I've also like thought, oh, someone's came up with an idea. And I thought that sounds mint. Boom, and then it's just Tala. Do you know what I mean? So it's. Yeah. I've also people do fuck up as well. I'm not just like this perfect businessman.
You learn from them though. You learn from those mistakes, right?
But that's kind of when you asked Gaz the question before, Jacky, and you were saying like, have you got a message out there for anybody who's thinking at like entrepreneurship and business and stuff like that? Sat here listening to Gaz, what I can see from you and I'm taking from you, Gaz, is your ability to see an opportunity and then think of, so what out of that opportunity there, what I need to do is put a process in place or test something and see, or match, 1, 2, 3, 4 together and then test it and see. Like you've just said there, it's not all been like, stuff that's gone great. I've missed some opportunities.
I'll test something and I'll be like...
And failed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The one with failure though, people are scared of failure.
But that's how you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you get there. Yeah. People don't see the stuff where you do fail.
But you know what? I saw a quote yesterday. It was Chris Williamson talking to Alex Hormozy.
Right.
Mate, do you know Chris Williamson?
Yeah.
Because I've known him, like, it's mad. On the early seasons of Geordie Shore, he was just the promoter that let us in Riverside.
Yeah.
If you watch Geordie Shore season 2 and 3, it's us walking in. Chris got his big afro.
Yeah. Oh, his big hair.
I just stayed in his house and that. It's like, he was a student. He'd be like, so I've got a picture of me and Chris Williamson topless hosting and tucked up together.
Chris is going to really appreciate this being online now.
Honestly, I'm going to find you the picture. It's still, if it went far enough back on my Facebook, I'll send you the picture.
Okay.
Later,
do it personally. Do a DM. Don't work it on the socials.
Honestly, and we used to work together. We used to do topless hosting and tup, and then he ran the student night at Riverside. So if you watch us coming on Geordie Shore, we put up in the cars and we're walking Riverside, and he's always at the door. I always give him a little high five as we walked in. You just see him standing there, and I actually remember him. As I was enjoying, so he's like, would you mind coming and doing a little podcast at mine? And I was like, I'm flat out, mate, like blah blah. I will if I get time. And then obviously I've watched him fucking blow up.
Yeah, he's amazing. Well, he had this quote, and he said, "Everyone's jealous of what you've got. Nobody's jealous of how you got it." And they were just both like, "What the fucking sub? It's massive." Like when you're up there, when I think Alex Hormozy said, everyone wants the view, but no one wants to climb. Yeah. Like they see what you've got, the cars and the watches, but they're jealous of that, but no one gives a fuck of the shit that you've had to do, the late nights, the failures, the 100 grand you've lost here and there. No one wants that. But they want the end result, and I saw that last night, and I was like, "Fuck, that's powerful." And that resonates with this. Yeah. Like all this, he just said at the end, just before we finish, "Oh, I've had fuck ups as well," and people need also. He said, "Well, you want people to know that."
People need to know that. Yeah, people need to know that.
Yeah.
So, there's times when I was about the trade and stuff. I remember mate was like, "Oh yeah, I do trade," and I was like, "All right, there's 100 grand, crack on." Lost it. Same time, just put 100 grand in like a restaurant, lost it. I was like, "Fucking hell,
It happens.
what's going on here?"
Yeah.
Just grafted me arse off for that. There's a lot of nightclub appearances now, I'm sure. Yeah. But I was like, "Fucking hell, that's I'm not used to this." And then it was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then that was before. That was I was doing the golf, but not before then. But obviously then ATSG's bunts, and then you've got another vision, and you kind of do forget about that, but it still hurts.
Yeah,
do you
of
know what
course.
I mean?
It's
But
always
like,
going to be there.
and that's the hardest thing. I think just pushing on, but
Well,
you get there in the end.
What?
How did you come up with ATSG, by the way?
Do you know, it does. Everyone asks what it means. I don't even know. I had to think of a name after, because basically, 11 degrees. It worked well because no clothing brand was a number.
Right. Okay.
So like it was actually to do with on ASOS when you search for a brand.
Yeah.
11 was at the top because it was a number.
Ah, clever.
So it didn't have a thing. And it was just my birthday is the 22nd. My business partner was the 7th. So 7 plus 2 was 11. And it was going to be the word 11. I was like, what? I was like, 11. I was like, what's that little circle thing? Is it Fahrenheit or something? He was like, no, it's 11. I was like, what's that? He went, degrees. And I was like, 11 degrees. He was like, well, we can't have a number. I was like, why not? Just put 11 on a shirt with that little circle on top. And that's how 11. But then ATSG, there was another brand I'd seen abroad with like four letters. And obviously they would have had a meaning for it. So it was like, we like the 4 letters. And I like kind of, without not being a name, rather I'd be like, so we just sat there and it was like PTLS, no, that didn't work. BSL, my kids' names, I was like CPMT, and I was like, nah. And eventually it was like ATSG.
Because it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
ATSG.
Yeah.
But PTMQ doesn't work, does it?
Yeah.
You know, LSM, if you think of something, a word and try and just put the letters on, they won't flow, will they?
Yeah.
So it's like ATSG. That works.
Yeah.
Kind of worked well actually because everyone was like, "What does it mean? What's it?" And I seen it, guys. What does the ATSG stand for? I'm like, mate, we had to make up like aspirational technical sportswear for golf, and I was like, that's what it means now. But when we made it, there was zero name. It was just like ATSG.
I love the honesty.
Yeah.
Didn't have a clue at the start, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. Well, that brings us to the end. Past the book. There's a tradition on the podcast where the previous guest leaves the next guest a book.
Oh God.
Not knowing who the guest is. They didn't know who you were.
Right, well, I don't read, but I'll try.
Well, this is one of the reasons we started this, because I didn't read before like lockdowns. I was DJing, I was touring the world, and I didn't have time to read, but now I have, and it's really helped me. So what we do is this Past the Book feature is to kind of not tell people to read, but encourage people that reading can be helpful.
Especially if like ADHD, it is meant to help massively. And my girlfriend, she's a fast reader. We went on holiday for like 5 days. She took like 4 books.
Yeah.
We're only going 5 days.
Same with my missus.
She's like, this is for the plane. I went, it was bigger than that. She went, this is for the plane. I went, for the plane? What, there and back? She went, yeah. And then we got one the other day last week of mine. She messaged us last night. She was like, that book was so good. When you finished that, mad.
Rapid.
It is reading's a big thing. But yeah, I'm actually excited about this.
So,
I wanted a new book.
Right, okay, so this is from Seb Zito, a DJ from London.
Right.
And the book is called The Kite Runner. And the reason he gave you this book is, well, he actually said he doesn't read that much, but this is one of the only books he's read, and it kept him occupied when he was traveling Peru. So that's for you.
Kite Runner. I thought it was going to be one of them fucking rich dad, poor dad fucking...
Yeah, it could have been.
We need to read this.
Mate, we give Judge Jules Where's Wally. We have to. We have no say over who gives the books, but that's from Seb. So, let us know how you think of that. But, mate, thank you so much for coming down. Honestly, I really appreciate it. And I love your honesty. I think your business acumen's amazing. I think there's a lot of value in this for people who are maybe thinking about doing something that they want to do, but just need that extra bit of push, and yeah.
Big time. You know, I checked out your Instagram, Gaz, and I can see that obviously you've got your children on there, and I can see your fitness transition you're going through, and you do genuinely come across as a humble guy with your feet on the ground. And to be sat here with you today, like I said prior to this, I forgot I didn't even know who you were. I was just like, I've never watched Geordie Shore, but I did watch the first season, so I did see you. And to hear about the little synchronicities of things that have come along in life for you, and how you've seen that opportunity. Some of them you've missed, like we all have, but to see you doing what you're doing, and to be so humble and have your feet on the ground, and to see family's important to you and life's important to you, and you're doing a lot of things in the right way. I want to thank you for the conversation today. It's inspired me, and I love seeing people, when opportunity presents itself, they do something with it, and you've done that, so big up.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Whatever your hobby is, just have a little, see what's missing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Believe in that. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.